So now we're talking about acknowledging your anxiety and being aware that it's there in order for you to be able to make any kind of changes to it. And so remember, now you understand the thoughts that you're thinking when you're anxious. So that voice track, that thought stream, I kind of like that term, thought stream. But you're aware of the words, the sentences that are going on in your mind whenever you're having anxiety. And you know the feeling of anxiety in your body. And so your anxiety is making you feel these symptoms. How do you want to feel? So probably you want to feel like you don't have those symptoms. But besides just eliminating those, what would you want to feel instead? Would you just want to feel relief from them? Or do you want to feel like happy? Sometimes that can be way too much of a shift. If we're feeling anxious and we want to feel happy, we can't just go from like anxious to excited. Like it doesn't happen like that. We have to kind of ease our way there. And so what can be helpful at first is just slowing down those anxious thoughts, which we will talk about that in a second. But just for now, just think about how you want to feel. Do you just want to feel like relief? Typically, when I talk to people, they want to feel relief and then they want to feel excited. So, and then we also talked before about what's your anxiety trying to tell you and how might it be protecting you, trying to protect you, not really protecting you, not really helping you, but what might it be trying to do? What might your brain just be trying to do? And could you even get to the place, you know how gratitude is like a healing emotion, like a healing state of mind, and everyone's like, practice gratitude. All the happiest people practice gratitude. Is there any way, and gratitude, all that is like being thankful, basically. Like I have gratitude for having a window in my room where like sunlight can come in and feed my plants and, I offer me a view of nature and like just being having gratitude about anything in life, right? And that's being thankful. So is there any way that you could actually be thankful for this anxiety? I know it doesn't seem like you want to, right? Like who wants to be thankful for having anxiety? But could you thank the anxiety for trying to help you? Like just being like, all right, anxiety, I see you. I feel you. I hear you. Thank you for trying to help me. However, you're not working for me anymore, basically. But if you can get into that, like seeing the anxiety and then thanking the anxiety for trying to help you and understanding that it is a reflex, it's a trained habit, it's thoughts that you've just kind of generated through your life that is it's almost like a coping mechanism. It's like a strategy for getting through or protecting yourself from tough things. So acknowledge it and maybe say thanks, but I'm going to find another way. And then building your awareness of your anxiety. So the thoughts and the feelings typically create actions, actually always create actions. So you're going to have these thoughts that results in that feeling in your body and that sensation of anxiety. And then that's going to end up with you taking an action. Like you're nervous to do this, so you're just going to put it off. Or you're getting social anxiety about this party, so you're just going to ignore these texts or calls and stay at home. Or you're nervous about going live on Facebook and you're just not going to do it. So how do those thoughts of anxiety and the feelings associated with that anxiety, what do they end up like creating in your life? What kind of actions do you end up doing? Is it something you get anxious about doing your taxes and so you put it off, and that's your action, is putting it off because it's something that you don't want to face? It makes you anxious. you know? So what is this anxiety doing in your life? How is it showing up? Like how is it changing your actions? Because however it changes your actions changes your results, right? Like changes your outcome in life. So, see if those results and outcomes are the ones that you want. And if they are, then why are you watching this? You know? Usually people would be watching this if they're like, yeah, my anxiety is like contributing to problems. It's contributing to things in my life that I don't want. Like, I don't want them. And so, yeah, if they're not affecting your life, then you've got some things figured out that maybe you could help other people figure out. So yeah, we talked about how you want to think and feel. And the more you can make your unconscious thoughts conscious. Ooh, I wrote this. I like that. The more you can make your unconscious thoughts conscious, the more you can manage your thinking. So the more you understand those trains of thought that are in your head that most of us just categorize as anxiety, the more you actually like write that down and look at those sentences and really understand what it is, the more you can manage them, because now you know what you're working with. And I wanted to also talk a little bit about the clues that your physical body is telling you. So we talked about how it shows up in your body. And what I mean by the clues is that when we are in a calm state of mind, imagine like, or just think about something cool and calm right now, like petting your cat or relaxing in a pool on a hot day or whatever is calming to you. What sensations do you have going on in your body then? Not a lot, right? It's like it's the opposite of anxious sensations, which are like feelings of tightness. Feelings of calm are feelings of relaxation, right? I just want to point this out because we're heading in this direction. So the feelings that we're going to want to create are going to be feelings that are more of relief and relaxation. And the thoughts that we're going to want to create are, rather than busy thoughts that are constantly going, like bees swarming around in a hive, you know what I'm talking about. Rather than those kinds of thoughts, it's actually going to be a lot less thoughts. So it's not like we're going to be trying to replace our thoughts. It's more like we're going to be slowing just our thoughts down. Like going back to those examples of like petting your animal or floating around in a pool on a hot day. Like, are you really thinking anything when you're doing those things? No, not really. You're in the moment. You're thinking about what you're doing. You're thinking about your cat, or you're thinking about like how good the water feels. You're thinking about what you're doing. That's a clue about where we're going. You're thinking about the present moment. You're thinking about now. And when you're thinking about now, you're bringing that imagination that you were using to construct this imaginary, scary future. You're bringing yourself from living in that future self and those future like situations. You're bringing yourself back to now, where all you have to worry about is the next thing, just the very next thing. You know, like right in this moment. What do you have to worry about? I don't know. Do you have to go to the bathroom? Do you have to drink a glass of water? If you're driving, like, do you have to make a left turn? Like there's, in the present moment, there's not a lot going on. There's just this thing. And then when we want to move forward, there's just the next thing. All right. So I just want to mention that. And then another note that I wrote, could it be okay to feel anxiety every time we grow into something? Oh, this is what I wrote. Every time we grow into something we've never done before, something new, something scary, something like next level for us, we'll have to get through a lot of failure, a lot of self-doubt and a lot of negative emotions, just by doing something new. This could be anything. This could be planning a trip. This could be getting a new job. This could be making a move. I mean, for some people, this can even be going on vacation. Gives them anxiety. It could be having a conversation. You don't know what the outcome's going to be. And those kinds of difficult situations can trigger anxiety. But every time that we step into our most, forgive my language, getting deeper into something, branching out into something, every time we're going to face the unknown, we're going to be doing things that we've never done before, and that will trigger anxiety, right? So basically anything that's like worth it, because we always want to progress. We always want to change, right? We always want to grow into that next level us. I mean, if you're watching this, you do. So we always want to change. We always want to shift into the next thing. We always want to grow. And so to be able to do that, we're going to have to get through anxiety. Anxiety is going to be with us because it's part of the human condition. So, you know what? Maybe we just need to make friends with it. Even if we know that it's not going to serve us, it's not going to help us, but it's going to be a part of us, Imagine it's like a birthmark on us, and the more you try to hide it, the more like anxious you are about it. But if you can just like let it go and let it be, and this is just me, and own it, then it doesn't affect you anymore. And so almost like with anxiety, if you can just accept that it's along for the ride with you and you can like make that okay, then, maybe we can actually do hard things and do things that are worthwhile, do things that up-level us. Okay, so next module, we'll be talking about how your thoughts are your own and that it's basically your responsibility to come up with good ones. And when I'm saying this, like your thoughts are your own and you're responsible for coming up with good ones, like I really mean my thoughts are my own too. And I'm responsible for coming up with good ones. Like we all just are. We're all humans. We all have a brain and we all have thoughts, and thoughts come in constantly. So we need to take it kind of seriously. I think like have a fun life. Don't take life too seriously, but take it a little bit seriously. Like the thoughts that come in, which ones we pay attention to. Because the more we pay attention to a thought, the bigger that thought is going to get in our lives. Like it just does. I think you know this. I can make another video about just that if you want. But our thoughts, the ones we pay attention to, get bigger in our lives. So our thoughts are going to be constant in our lives. We need to carefully and deliberately, intentionally choose which thoughts we listen to. Because if we listen to the unhelpful ones, we're not going to be helped by our mind. Our mind's going to hold us back. But if we listen to the thoughts that serve us and help us, then we're going to be helped by our mind. And we're going to have our mind be serving us. Talk to you in module 3 soon.